Do you love the Highland cows as much as I do? Well, today we're going to make a very cool little zipper pouch from our Highland Cow material that we print here in-house. It's also lined with some other material that matches this beautifully, and I'll tell you what those are. But I first want to explain how we do this, because it is a little process. So I've drawn out a pattern here. We have two materials, of course. We have the bottom material, and that's going to be an 8 by 8 inch square, and that's what I have right here. And then we have the cute Baby Highland cows. And interestingly enough, that's the name of the fabric. Cute Baby Highland cows. It can't get any simpler than that. So I have drawn this out because this is unique. The Highland cows face up, okay? And making a pouch, we've got to keep in mind that the front pieces we want the cows to face up, the back pieces we want to face up as well. And this overlap, this flap in front, we just want to make it turn out nice. So here's how you do that. My piece of Highland Cow material is 8 inches wide by 12.5 long. Now from there, and I'm going to leave this here on the camera for the upper camera to see just for a moment if you want to screenshot it. I've cut it into 3 sections, the back, the front, and the top that kind of loops over the top of the bag, all right? So I have cut my piece 12.5 by 8. And I have made those cuts already. My first section is the back section, 6 1/4. That's right here. My front section is 4 inches. And then my top part that flaps over, that's 2 1/4. So here's the trick to all of this. We've got all these beautiful pieces laid out. It's the order in which you sew them together. It's very, very important. So I'm gonna set the bags aside for now. I'm going to take the bottom piece, this is our bottom fabric, and I'm going to place it in between these two, all right? So let me move these two up. Here's the bottom fabric. Now picture this, if this was the bottom of our bag, the material that comes off of the bottom, it's going up. This should be going up as well. So we want the cow's faces to be in that direction. Now this pattern is just great, but the bottom piece is not. I'm going to turn it around and it will attach to the bottom piece like this. And I made that notation on this paper, turn it around and attach to the bottom. So the only other change we're gonna make is, let me slide all this up just one more time. This top little flap, we also have to turn this piece around and we are going to attach it to the back piece like this. Actually, I just brought it down. So look, this will flap over the top of the bag, okay? Our Highland cows will be looking up and they will also look up from the front. I know it's confusing, but this is exactly how we do it. So the last piece of this step is stitch all of these together, use a 1/4 inch seam allowance and press your seams to the darkest side, and then we'll come back for the next step. Okay, so we've assembled these pieces, front, bottom, back, and the top front, which is this little strip up here, right? So that's great. We're going to cut a piece of backing, which looks like the bottom, because this will actually be the lining of our bag. Cut a piece of backing and batting that's a little larger than this piece, which by the way measures 19 inches long at this point. So I'm gonna lay out my batting and my backing. I'm gonna lay this piece on top of it. And what we have to do now is quilt through all this. And you know, quilting is the act of sewing through 3 or more layers of fabric. So it doesn't matter how you quilt it. In fact, I'm gonna just draw a random line. This is a heat-resistant pen, it'll disappear when I iron it. I'm just gonna draw a random line across here as my starting line. And then just randomly go, I think I'll make another line 1 inch apart from that. I'm gonna draw my lines on an angle all the way across this. Then I'm gonna come back and do them in the other direction. I'm gonna stitch through all of my lines. That's all quilting is. We're gonna have this stitched up and then we will come back here and go to the next step. All right, so I have quilted through this entire panel. I did a bunch of slanted lines, and then I just did straight lines across. It looks fine. You can quilt it however you like. Next thing is I'm going to square this up. So I'm just going to cut off all the extra batting and backing. You're going to have a beautiful piece to work with. And don't worry if some of your batting or your backing has shifted a little bit. Let's give it another little cut. During the quilting process, that's what happens when we're stitching all that stuff together. It can happen, but it won't matter because it's all going to be hidden in the final product anyhow. So, that's our last piece of that. So now we've got our original piece, okay? Bottom, front, back, and the top. We're going to install the zipper next. So, you know, zippers are fun. I love them. Don't be intimidated by them. So here's the trick. This could require a 7-inch zipper. That would be perfect for the project, but I would say get a larger one. I happen to have a 14-inch one. You don't need one that large, but if you had a 10-inch or something, that would be great. There's a reason for that, and you'll see it as we start to sew the zipper in. This is I'm going to turn around. I'm going to start with the front-facing piece, okay? The zipper has the pull, of course, at the top. I want to place the zipper face down on this piece of fabric. I'm going to take it about a 1/2 inch from this edge, all right, where I want the top of the zipper pull. And I'm going to just line it up. You can see I'm lining it all up on this edge. I'm going to stitch a little 1/4 inch seam on the zipper right here, all along from here to here. And then let's go to the sewing machine and I'll show you how this works. Okay. All right, so. Now at this point, I want to open the zipper, okay? So I'm going to turn this over. Here's the zipper pull, right? We're going to open the zipper. When you get here, it gets a little tight. So as long as your needle is in the down position, you can raise the presser foot, and that way it helps you get past that little mechanism right there. And I'm going to unzip it past the end of my project. All right, so that stays out of our way. Lower the presser foot and line this up again and just continue to the end. So now while we're here, I'm going to fold this over and I just want to run a little top stitch along the fabric here just to hold that zipper down, okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to get it close to the actual zipper. And you'll see, I am close to that zipper, and that's fine. I'm going to keep going. That's great. That's just going to hold that side down for us. And now we'll work on the other side of the zipper. So we just finished sewing on both sides of the zipper. Now look, this is the reason why I said get a longer zipper. Being able to unzip this so far back gave us the freedom to do the top stitching and all that without being bound by that zipper. So it's really handy. Now at this point, I'm going to zip it closed. We're going to turn this piece inside out. So we will be looking at the backing fabric, or what will be the lining fabric. We see that all around, see? And we see our zipper. Look on the inside of this, because where the Highland Cow fabric meets the backing fabric, I want to match that piece up with the same part on the other side. The Highland Cow meets the backing fabric. Match these two seams up. Help if I put my glasses on. And I'm just going to put a fabric clip in there to hold that. And look at the other side too. Match those up and put a clip. Now, what that does is it makes, this is the actual fold of the bag now. Don't be concerned that the zipper is sort of off center. That's how the final piece looks. We're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam from down here to here and from here down to here. Then we're going to do an overcast stitch. Now, if you have a serger, you would take this to your serger and just serge right through it. That's an overlock machine. That means it's going to keep doing this with the threads to keep it from fraying. But you don't have to have an overlock machine. You can have a regular sewing machine. Now, on the Juki sewing machine I'm working on, it has what's called an overcast stitch. That's just how they phrase it. So after I do my first stitch, I'm going to go back and do the overcasting stitch. It's more than a zigzag. It takes in lots of threads and it will prevent this whole thing from fraying. So do both of those things on both of these sides. I can already tell you right now, I got to the zipper, I can cut it off because we are done with that piece. So stitch down here, stitch there, and then do your overcast stitch, or take it to your serger and serge both ends and meet me back at the cutting table. Okay, we did the overcast or overlock on both of the edges here. Now before we turn it right side out, we need to take a little ruler and measure in a 1-inch block from the bottom of this bag to the side of the bag. I'm going to take my little marking pen and I'm just going to draw that block. I'm going to do that on both of these bottom corners of the bag, because the next step, if you've made a bag before, you'll know this, is to cut that square out. So I'm going to cut, it's a little thick now that we've got 2 layers of quilted material in there. There is one. And here's the other, couple little threads in there. So the finishing touch on this is to open this little corner of the bag. Open it like this. Pinch it together. See, so we're making a new little corner here. And I am going to go back to my overlock stitch at the thing, or you can take it to your serger and serge across this edge. We'll do the same with this other corner. See, when I open this one up, I'm going to open it up like that and flatten it out. And we will stitch across that as well. And then it's time to turn it inside out and see what we got. So I have done those last 2 edges here. So we are ready to turn the bag right side out. So you just have to work it a little bit. And these are thick corners. You know, I could trim my corners before I do this, but I prefer not to, because I don't want to risk having these corners come apart later on. So when I push this out, on the bottom, I'm going to take my finger inside and push my finger into those corners to push them out like that. That looks good. If you have a pointer tool, you can stick that in these top corners as well, just to help kind of poke them out a little. They actually do really well on their own. And so, if you look carefully, we have a beautiful bag with the Highland cows. And look, they're up front here, and they're facing up front on the back too. That's because we started it out in this beautiful way. I'm going to take this to the iron, you know, and just press all of my corners open. I'm going to also press my bottom down. You just give it a much crisper look that way. The fabrics we used here are very popular lately. We print these in-house, and they are called cute baby Highland cows. Of course, that's the cows. And the bottom piece and the lining piece is called Wild Watercolor Paisleys pattern number 2. They're all at Sewing Parts Online. This was an amazing project. You will love this. I love this, and it's the 3rd one I made. I'm going to make a 4th. I hope you give it a try, and happy sewing.